Hello and welcome, everybody. We are here, Oak Ridge Varsity Men's Lacrosse, first of the year, here on Trojan Pride Sports Marketing. My name, Murcielago Del Dotto. I'm joined with Tristan and Barca. Tristan, how are we doing tonight?
Absolutely fantastic. Always fun to see a game on the Oak Ridge field. Absolutely. Any sport, any players, we're here excited for lacrosse.
100% agree. Oak Ridge Trojans, Rocklin Thunder, Varsity Men's Lacrosse. The Trojans 3-3 on the year, 1-1 in the SFL, puts them in fourth. Both teams play in the Sierra Foothill League. Rocklin having a struggle to their start of the year. They're 0-5, 0-3 in league, puts them in last place. California 96, Rocklin is ranked. The Trojans down at 23. The Trojans, the favor here tonight at home. Trojans, their last game they played the Delaware Golden Eagles. 12-5 W was the end result of that game. Rocklin, their last game, they played the Folsom Bulldogs and lost 16-6. Their next game versus West Park on the 14th. Both teams know each other super well. SFL rivals. Can't wait to get the first face-off underway on Trojan Pride Sports Marketing. First face-off of the night is here. Rocklin in blue, Trojans in white. First whistle blows, and we're off. The Trojans. Merrick Noren, able to scoop that one up for the Trojans. Both teams play physical. The boys have masks and gear. We're talking about the girls, which we just did on Tuesday. They've got small little face masks. Not the boys. Full pads and helmets. These boys get physical. The gear is 100% needed. If you're unfamiliar with lacrosse, we got 4 quarters of 12 minutes each. Out of bounds is stretched. You can go past the goal. That one goes out of bounds. It'll be Trojan ball. Clock stops at 11:26. Play resumes. Trojans 3-3 on the year. Coming off a section championship loss to Whitney, the Wildcats. They played in the section championship, rematched them earlier this year, lost 12-8. Whitney got their number both times, but this team developing really well, has a bunch of youngins on this squad, able to look for some big wins, especially here tonight versus a struggling SFL opponent.
And Oak Ridge, so far, the strategy seems pretty simple. Just kind of play it slow, find the creases, and get as fast as possible as you can towards that goal.
Oh, the first shot of the game. Up and missed. That one, Joaquin Hudgens, number 20, missed wide right. Trojans will keep the ball. Play resumes. Coming around the edge. Good pass. The second off the crossbar. Can't get it to go. Sticks flying. Flag flies. Trojans lose possession of the ball. Play stops. Number 30, Parker Ball, with the penalty there. We've got substitutions for both teams, 2 for Rocklin and 12 for the Trojans. We got a 30-second penalty violation for number 20, Quinn Kessler, for Rocklin. Play resumes. Rocklin on the left side. They're able to shut the Trojans down for their first offensive possession of the night, but the Trojans able to scoop it back up. We got a pile of bodies around the 30-yard line.
Oak Ridge is able to come out of it.
Yeah, Noah Price with the ball right now. That's good pass down the left sideline. Trojans on the other side. There's a shot, but a great save.
So far, both teams unable to score. Rocklin's barely been able to get it past that 50-yard line, and the Trojans have been on the offensive, just no good goals yet.
There's a pass that goes long and out of bounds behind the Oak Ridge Trojan goal. The Trojans are gonna be able to take possession back. Number 24, Zach Garcia. With the ball right now, that's a good pass. Trojans with open turf.
Rocklin defense, just a lot of bodies over there. It's impossible to find a good opening. Trojans have taken a couple shots, have been blocked, or they've hit off the crossbar, have been just over. Still nothing to go, 0-0. But the Trojans are still on the offensive.
Ty Gonzalez with the shot there. He couldn't find the back of the net, but that's a good look for the Trojans, and they're going to be able to keep the ball. The key here is to play for possession. Oh, bodies on the ground. Zach Garcia able to scoop it up, but a good save from Rocklin.
Rocklin defense still ironclad, impossible to get past it, but they might be able
There
to
it
here.
is. First goal of the game. Jax Alameda, number 2, punches it in for the Trojans for the first time tonight. Trojans take the lead 1-0 with 8:30 left to go in the first quarter. Quick turnover from Rocklin after they were able to stop the Trojans' offensive attack, but a quick turnover forces a goal. Trojans 1, Thunder 0, 8:30 left to go in the first quarter.
Trojans previously won the face-off in the middle. They get it again. They can once more go on the offensive, see if they can get another goal as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Ryan Carnaroli able to scoop that one up for the Trojans. Now they're back on Rocklin's attacking third. The Trojans moving the ball around the perimeter, so that they like to do. Play the patient game, find a hole in the Rocklin defense, and then attack.
Trojans so far still slow and methodical, trying to set up whatever they can until they get a good crease. There, not so much. Another save. Number 27 for the Rocklin Thunder.
Yeah, that's a great save. Vasquez, Joe Vasquez. Eli White, number 3 for the Trojans. Had the shot, unable to score, though, for the Trojans. Keeps it at 1-0, 7:30 left to go in the first quarter.
The Thunder, again, not being able to find any creases on the Trojans' defense. They're still on the perimeter. Try to push it there, and it just sails out of bounds. Oak Ridge will now regain the possession. Trojans fast, trying to get through as fast as possible here.
Carnaroli dishes it off. Jax Alameda passes it out. Quinn Berry dishes. Trojans playing the slow game once again. We got 6:40 left to go in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, the Trojans scored about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Otherwise, it's been a slow and methodical game, as Tristan was saying earlier. Trojans have had most of the possession behind the back. Wow, that was pretty. A behind the back shot for the Trojans. Forward long, number 8 punches it in. That's 2-0 on a fancy behind the back. Wow.
Well, if you can't get it conventionally, you got to get a little flashy. That one looked nice.
Yes, it did. The Trojans able to tack on one more. Now 2-0 lead with 6:22 left to go in the first quarter.
Another face-off in the middle. Trojans have won 2 of 2 so far. And it looks like that'll be 3 of 3. Trojans get to go back on the offensive once more. Now up 2-0.
Yeah, Dominic Mancinelli, number 7, able to scoop that one up off the face-off. And as Tristan said, the Trojans able to slow it down again and play their game.
Trojans love to get the team to go slow against them. Just play in the perimeter, keep looking for that crease where you can find it and get inside.
Nice move from Mancinelli. The shot! Just scooped up by Vasquez. That's a great save.
The score may not reflect it, but so far the Rocklin Thunder defense has been very good.
They have, especially when you're talking about the Trojans, they've had the ball in this part of the area pretty much the whole game. There's been a couple spurts where Rocklin's been able to push it down the field. But besides that, Trojans have had the ball down here most of the game. This Rocklin defense has not given them much.
Yeah, if you look at the shots taken and the shots made, it's very different. I think there's probably been about 6 so far this game, so made only 33%. Rocklin's obviously very good.
Flag flies. Uh-oh, we get a little shovey. 8-24. Trojans able to keep possession. Nice move from White. Great defense, though, from Rocklin. They're able to keep it out. 20 checks on for the Trojans. Number 20, Joaquin Hodges. Number 12 as well, Vincent Stevens checks in for the Trojans. 4:41 left to go in the first quarter. The Oak Ridge Trojans starting out the year with a decent record. They're 3-3 overall with a 1-1 record in league play. Rocklin, they're struggling to start the year at 0-5 record overall and an 0-3 record in the SFL. Oh, way downtown. That's a heater. Stevens checks in and immediately scores for the Trojans. Number 12, Vincent Stevens. From way downtown makes it 3-0. Trojans up 3 already early within the first 8 minutes here in El Dorado Hills, California.
Trojans, other than their first score, 0 conventional points going on so far. Their last 2 have been a behind the back and a long shot. Trojans dominating on some flashy plays.
Yeah, we love to see that. Rocklin able to win their first face-off of the night. Quickly, though. Quickly gets taken. There's a physical play.
Trojans are able to get aggressive on that one. Great steal as it comes back their way.
Preston Corant, number 14, able to take it away very quickly. Trojans lose possession down deep in Rocklin territory. They're going to have to work their way down. Physical play, though. These boys are going at it. Number 2, Jax Alameda, swinging. Trying to get the ball loose from the stick. There's a great pass down in threat territory, but nothing to go by it.
And previously, despite the short amount of time, that might have been the longest Rocklin has had the ball all game.
Yeah, that is true. Trojans and goalkeeper Luke Vermette able to calmly keep that one out of harm's way, able to quickly get it down towards where they've had the ball most here tonight. Number 12, Vincent Stevens with the ball right now. Nice pass inside. There's another opportunity, and that's in. That's a beauty from Joaquin Hudgens once again. It's now 4-0 Trojans up with 3:02 left to go in the quarter.
Trojans once again dominating on the offensive end. They're able to slowly look around, and they're able to find it right in the middle. Aggressive play. That leads the Trojans up 4-0. The Thunder, we were talking about how good the defense is, starting to be in shambles a little bit here as the Trojans are able to pick it apart.
Yeah, that's true. 3 minutes into the game, Trojans have scored 4, and Rocklin hasn't had the ball much at all. Merrick Noren able to scoop that one very quickly in the shot. Wow. Wow. We can't even reflect on the fourth goal before we get to the fifth. Number 8, Ford Long. Makes it 5 now. 5-0 the score. Just about what? 15 seconds of game time after the
That was
fourth?
shocking. I looked up and immediately there was a goal. You didn't even
Holy
get to finish
cow.
your sentence. Ford Long now has a two-piece.
Yeah, Noren just scooped it up. And then all of a sudden, ball was in the back of the net. Trojans 5, Rocklin 0, 2:53. I think if I remember it was 3:02, so we got 9 seconds of gameplay.
The Trojans on that last possession just said, let's get rid of slow and methodical. Let's just go for the throat. They got a great score there, now at 5-0 in the first quarter.
Agreed. 2:40 to go. And they're already in the driver's seat. Up 5.
Trojans now going back to that slow, methodical look, just outside, dishing it around, seeing if they can find anything. Not a ton of movement on the offensive end.
There's a nice move from the inside. Miles Johnson. Swinger gets blocked. Good defense by Rocklin.
Trojans again able to scoop it back up, staying on the offensive end, still looking for something. Biggest thing, Rocklin likes to play up close and personal with their opponents. And so far, it's worked most of the time, but when you're able to find a crease, you're able to immediately find it. That's led to the 5 points that the Trojans have so far.
Behind the back once again. That one doesn't work for him. Forward long, trying to go behind the back again. Saved, though, by Rocklin. Timeout Rocklin with 1:29 left to go in the first quarter. We got a 5-0 Trojans dominating early in this one as Rocklin takes a timeout. We'll see you back here on Trojan Pride Network. We're back from the timeout. Rocklin able to take the possession, as they were the ones to call the timeout. They're working it down the right sideline. Finally able to get some possession down inside the Trojans' territory, but immediately smacked out by a Trojan player.
The noticeable difference between the two defenses is the Rocklin Thunder, they love to kind of watch around and stay on the perimeter with their opponent. Trojans want to get up in there. They want to get the ball as fast as possible.
Yeah, very, very physical, and that's one of the key reasons why this team made it to the section finals last year. Very physical. They hunt the ball, want to have the ball the whole time, which is another part of their success. Is, you know, if they play physical and play good defense, they've got the ball a lot of the time, and if you hold possession like that, there's not much the opponent can do.
Absolutely. And you can see it in this box score as well. The score itself, 5-0 for the Trojans. They're obviously in the driver's seat. They just want to keep being pedal to the metal, keep trying to put points on the board if they can. Obviously not afraid to get aggressive at all.
There's a good spin from number 5, Beckham Pebbles. There's the shot, but that's wide.
That one just trickles off the ground, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, forward long with the shot.
They call it to remain Oak Ridge ball.
We got 10 seconds left on the clock. 5-0's the score. Can they make it 6? Before the quarter, there's the shot, and it is in. With 3 seconds left on the clock, they make it 6-0. Evan Pratt able to hit that running from behind the goal towards the right side. 6-0 is the score, and they're going to call the quarter there.
3 seconds left on the clock, but I guess we will call it anyways.
That is something I didn't know about. That's interesting. Heading into quarter number 2, Trojans 6, Rockland 0. Trojans up 6. Heading into quarter 12, we'll see ya. Whoa, excuse me, quarter 2. We'll see you for the next 12 minutes here on Trojan Pride Network. We're back for quarter number 2. Oak Ridge Varsity Men's Lacrosse. Oak Ridge Trojans and Rocklin Thunder. If you're just joining us, the Trojans running away with it early here tonight. The Trojans up 6-0, headed to quarter number 2. Trojans, their record on the year, 3-3. They've had an okay start to the year, considering they were section champion runner-ups. They'd like to have a bit of an improved record. They've been playing some great teams, though. They played De La Salle game number 2, lost 16-4. played Monte Vista, lost 5-4 a couple weeks ago. And their latest loss coming to the section championship, Whitney Wildcats at home, 12-8. Nevertheless, this team playing great here tonight. Rocklin has struggled here tonight as well as to start the year. 0-5 record and 0-3 in league play. Both teams play in the Sierra Foothill League, the SFL. Know each other well, play each other twice a year. Next time these two teams play each other is actually on my birthday, April 14th. They play at Rocklin. That'll be an interesting game to watch. Rocklin Trojans, April 14th, the next time these two teams face off against each other. Trojans able to work it down the field. There's an opportunity. Good spin and the finish. That's a great possession by the Trojans.
And yet
Number
another
12,
score.
Vincent Stevens.
Well, now the Trojans up 7-0. I thought the Rocklin Thunder were going to potentially get a score there. They looked slow and methodical, just like the Trojans have been most of the game. Just quick shot, turnover, Trojans get it back and immediately score again. Humongous lead now, 7-0 in quarter two. This is already more than the Thunder scored in their last game against the Folsom Bulldogs. Surprising turn of events to some, but Trojan fans want to say they expected it.
Yeah, and Trojans right after their 7th, right back on the possession.
Trojans, again, surveying the perimeter, doing what they did best last time, finding that crease, see if they can get in there. Just keep going around the back, around the sides, see if you can catch the Rocklin defense off guard. Long shot there. No good. Oh, they can catch them without any blockers.
Bang!
And that's good. Trojans, aggressiveness has paid off all game, 8-0.
Trojans continue that momentum from the first quarter into the second. Less than 2 minutes into the second quarter, they've already cashed in twice.
And the Trojans just domineering this game. I mean, I already used the analogy, might as well use it again. They're in the driver's seat, and they're full pedal to the metal.
100%. Running away with it and not looking back. Trojans up 8-0 with 10:07 to go.
Trojans see if they can get another face-off win. They've had multiple of those so far. And they can. Scoops it up.
Wow, they're going quick. Good pass. Nice. Wow. Holy cow. The Trojans are popping off. I couldn't even say anything. That possession was so fast. Bang, bang, bang. Into the goal. I mean, wow. 1 pass to 2, 2 to 3, and the shot is in. 9-0 now the score. That's another great possession by the Trojans.
And why go slow when the entire defense is on their heels? I mean, they immediately took it to the goal, and they just got it as fast as possible. Trojans running away with it right now.
Exactly right.
Another
If you like what you see here from Trojan Pride Sports Marketing Live on YouTube, you can check us out next week. We have our first baseball and softball streams of the year. We got Tuesday, baseball versus Jesuit at 4 p.m. We'll have that live streamed for you right here on this very YouTube channel. The next day, Wednesday, March 18th, we'll have Oak Ridge softball versus this very team, Oak Ridge Rocklin Varsity softball. And then come Thursday, we'll have these boys again, men's lacrosse versus Jesuit at 7:15. So we got a stacked next week schedule for you guys. For some support watching next week, Trojan Pride Sports Marketing, first baseball softball broadcast of the year, and another appearance for these boys, men's varsity lacrosse. Trojan Pride Sports Marketing Live on YouTube.
Super excited for all those games coming up. Absolutely. Got to watch them if you're a big Trojan fan.
Yeah, softball especially. Having our first softball stream of the year. Softball team nationally ranked. Back to back to back section champions. Hoping for a fourth in a row this year. That team is special.
Trojan softball, always good.
100%.
And now we're seeing the Thunder send it out.
8.5 left to go in the second quarter.
Trojans again playing the perimeter.
That's a nice move. A good pass. Oh, but it's just a little too high. That was a nice idea from the Trojans. Number 26, Evan Pratt, with a nice dish. Was looking for a man in the middle, just a bit too high. The Trojans able to keep possession, though, as they reset. Pratt again with the same move. This time a different result. Could have been a rinse and repeat. Great save, though, from Rocklin, but they put it right back in. Holy cow, that went by fast. Evan Pratt with a nice move. Looked like deja vu. This time he hit the pass. Good save, though, but the Trojans inevitably able to cash in, hit double digits for the first time tonight. 10-0 now is the score.
If you're the Thunder, you got to talk this over. I mean, there's no winning this game if you can't fix the mistakes on the defensive end. They're barely able to get the ball on offense.
Yeah, possession is key, as we've talked about earlier. If you don't have the ball, you're going to struggle, especially when you're lackadaisical on defense as well. And the Trojans able to run away with it.
Especially with the Trojans, no matter how many shots they miss, they seem to keep getting it back, whether that's steals, whether that's just finding it in the back of the end zone, just immediately able to find the ball again, get more shots up. No matter how many shots you miss, if you just keep taking more shots, you're going to make a couple of them at least. Hence the score 10-0, Trojans.
Exactly right. I was just about to say.
Yeah.
We got 7:20 left to go in the second quarter.
And you see the Thunder defensive identity starting to change a little bit. They're trying to keep men in the middle. That's how the Trojans keep finding those soft spots. They keep being able to go around the back, around the sides, and just find someone open in the middle, getting the easy goals.
Zach Garcia, number 24, dishes it quickly. The Trojans able to move it back. Garcia right back on the ball. Trojans just did a little loop-de-loop around the goal. Nice move from Garcia as he darts inside. Good pass. Deflected, though. Rocklin, keeper, able to scoop it up.
Rocklin going for a deep shot here.
Launches that way down the field.
And that'll just go out of bounds. Trojans get the ball right back. Not sure what was going on in his head there.
Maybe trying to push it down the field, get it out of their attacking territory. Excuse me, the Oakers attacking territory, their own goalie box. But didn't work out. The Trojans just able to scoop it right back up, and they're right back to where they were.
And so far, that's been the frustrating part for Rocklin offensively. They're able to get the ball back, but when they do get the ball back, they go for some deep shot, deep Hail Mary. It's so far just has not been working.
Yeah, it's not going to. This Trojans team is way too physical, way too smart as well. Rocklin got to change their game plan, because right now they're just watching that clock go down, and the Trojans just able to keep possession.
Well, and I would try to identify what they can change offensively, especially against some weak points in the Trojans' defense. But we haven't seen any. I mean, they haven't had the ball over there for long enough to be even be able to tell.
Yeah, that's right.
Rocklin, of course, starts on the defense for him here. You need to be able to stop it.
Holy cow. That was pretty good, I'll tell you what. Quinn Berry able to shuffle a double step, not load up, just coming in hot as it swings, a sidearm type shot there from the Trojans. 11-0 now. Wow. Trojans are playing tonight, firing on all cylinders. Nobody can stop them right now. 5.5 to go left in the quarter. 11-0 is the score.
Rocklin now, it's only the second quarter, but it's starting to look like they're going to need to call the God of Thunder, Thor, to come play some lacrosse for them.
Oh,
This is big time, 11-0 for the Trojans. Able to scoop it up once more.
I'll tell you what, I would have never been able to think of that God of Thunder. I like that a lot. You're good at analogies.
Hey, I've been playing God of War recently. It's in my head.
Okay, nice.
How the Trojans still surveying the perimeter, doing what they do best, doing what's worked the entire game. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We got 5:10 left in the first half clock. Nice move. Off the crossbar.
That time ever so close to another goal. They're not able to get it.
Trojans win it right back.
Again, Trojans, every time they miss the shot, they're able to get it right back.
Yeah, that one, Vincent Stevens, able to swing, knock the ball loose, and take possession.
Just looking around. That time blocked by Rocklin.
Another one, that one, underneath, and a great finish by the Trojans. That one, Evan Pratt again, number 26, makes it 12. Tristan, I don't even know at this point if the God of Thunder could save him. Thor might be on recall. We don't know. But I don't even know if Thor could help this Rocklin team right now. 12-0 is the score. 4.5 to go.
Well, the Norse gods never fought in Troy, so the Trojans running away with it right now, 12-0. I mean, second quarter, 4:28 left to go. Rocklin, you need to change something big here to be able to even come back.
Agreed. Win a face-off. Oh, maybe not. Trojans able to scoop it up. Noah Price wins it. Now darting down the field, that's number 11.
Oak Ridge looking to have a little bit of a different approach here. See if you can just run them off the field. And now we see the return to form, the recipe that's been cooking so far. Just stay on the perimeter. See if you can find the easy shot inside.
Dragon darting down the field, shoved in the back, sticks flying.
These teams are starting to get a little bit physical.
Yeah, they are.
Could potentially be something that works for the Thunder. They were able to get the ball out of the Trojans' hands for what seems to be the first time they've been driving offensively.
Yeah, maybe they look to do that again.
Trojans again surveying the perimeter.
Rocklin has 3 players not playing defense right now. They're trying to get those players involved. It so far has not worked out. Finally, they're able to scoop it up. For the first time in a while, they got possession past midfield.
Rocklin, see if they can finally do something on the offensive end. Trojans staying right with them, aggressive as can be.
Braden Daigle right now, number 25 with the ball. He leads Rocklin in goals. He's got 8 goals on the year for the team and 5 assists as well.
And he is just rushing in there. He's trying to do
Wow.
something, and it's stopped again.
Holy cow, that's a great defensive play. Number 15, Ben Vanderwall, able to shut that down immediately upon the rush to the center.
Trojans showing they're aggressive on both ends. They're able to stop that immediately on defense. Another shot is up, and
Wow.
it's blocked. Rocklin get the ball back.
Yeah, that's a great save from the keeper. He launches it way down there. It is caught this time. Rocklin scoops it up. Now they officially have possession. Vermette, Trojans keeper, able to wake up a little bit. It's time for him to work.
Flag down around midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, maybe not.
Flag is still down. Referee does not want to scoop it up.
Oh, they do. Rocklin's going to be awarded possession. I was just about to say, well, Vermette got out of his seat, but he's going to take it. He's going to sit right back down, but no. Rocklin will keep possession after the flag. 1:55 left to go in the half.
For the Thunder, I think so far they just need to find an offensive identity. They have none so far in this game. They haven't necessarily played. They played very aggressive, but it's not working. You need to find something else that's going to work.
Wow. Noah Price dishes it in open space. That one just a little too wide, though. Number 14, Coden, just unable to secure it. Rocklin will have possession back in their own territory. A nice 1-2. Now they're out of their own territory into the Trojans.
Rocklin notably so far late in the second quarter, they've been able to get the ball back over on the Trojan side a lot more. Something's been working on the defensive end.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of shots. Was this their next one? There's a shot there. Some Trojans in there. Luke Vermette able to clear it out. One of his first saves of the night. Still keeping that clean sheet alive. 12-0 the score with 55 to go.
And despite the fact that they didn't get the shot, that obviously looked a lot better than anything they've tried so far this game. Thunder could be within fighting distance if they can really get it going in offense, either here or in the second half. Trojans just kind of running out clock, staying on the perimeter, not letting them get the ball back.
There's a shot. Wow! Holy cow! That's all I can say. Number 24, Zach Garcia from way downtown. I think that's the farthest one we've seen tonight. Running. A little skipper gets by the keeper. It's now 13-0 with 23 seconds left in half number one.
And right when things are starting to look good, the Trojans come back inside over the Rocklin Thunder, and they're able to get that score. Just like lightning in a bottle, this offense is. They keep scoring at breakneck speeds.
Yeah, they took a break for a minute, but they're right back on. 13-0 with 33 seconds left.
Trojans so far fortuitous in the face-offs.
They're going to call white ball in the possession. 15 seconds left. They should just be able to wind it out. Maybe one last shot with a couple seconds left. Here's Mancinelli. 4 seconds left. 2. Last shot, ball on the ground. There's the horn, no shot. And there it is. 13-0. We have reached halftime. Trojans up big, 13-0 at halftime. Don't leave us yet. We've got second half action between the Trojans and the Thunder. We'll see you back. Trojan Pride Network. We're back. Second half action here between the Trojans and the Thunder. My name is Murcielago Del Dotto. I'm joined here with now Tommy Johnstone. Tommy, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, Murs, and doing even better after that 13-0 start.
Yeah,
for
the
this game.
Trojans, if you're just joining us, have been running away with it in the first half. 12-0 is the score right now. Excuse me, 13. Wow, I'm behind as well. 13-0 is the score. The Trojans 3-3 on the year. Rocklin 0-5. So the Rocklin Thunder been struggling here tonight as well as early on in the year. The Trojans, considering they went to the section finals last year, 3-3 is an okay record. They've played some highly competitive teams though, so no wonder they've had a couple losses. Both teams play in the Sierra Foothill League, so they know each other well. And it's been an interesting one here to say the least. Trojans have just ran away with it. 13-0 to start quarter number 3. Ryan Conneroli over to Miles Johnson, and Johnson. That one is in. 14-0 is the score. The high school California rule is that if it is a 12-point lead or more going into the second half, or during the second half at all, it's a running clock. So these last 24 minutes will run the clock for you. That's easy for Tommy to handle. 13-0 with 10:30 left to go on the clock.
Yeah, while I was down on the field, I could hear the Rocklin coach giving his pep speech. Holy crap. And he was saying, whoever that last guy that stole your lunch, the pizza from your plate, he's out on that field. Hit them hard. Hit them like that ball is your pizza and you want it back. And I was dying laughing.
It's a good analogy. The Trojans do play physical. Wow! I was just about to say they play physical and they keep the ball a lot, but they punch one in. The Trojans extend their lead to 15 now. The Trojans lead 15-0 on a great shot.
Pretty soon here, we're going to have to be looking up what's the school record.
That's a good point.
Last year against Davis Senior for football, we set it on VAR with 17-6, I believe. Sorry, 72 to 6.
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
72.
17 is not that much.
72 sounds familiar. At halftime, I think it was like 50. So
Yeah.
we were talking about, can we get into the 90s? Trojans slowed it down in the second half, but yeah, 72-6, 72-0, 72-3, something in there. Boys popped off that night. Face off, Trojans able to scoop it up. Trojans able to have the ball moving around the perimeter. If you're interested in the World Baseball Classic international tournament between baseball teams, Team USA barely made it to the next round, was 3-0 going into Tuesday night, I believe. They played Italy. Italy smacked them around, won 8-6, and then the U.S. needed Italy last night to beat Mexico to move on. Luckily, bang! There's another goal for the Trojans. That's their 16th of the night. Evan Pratt able to punch that one in.
We're scoring so much that Merce can't even get through a full monologue.
I know. Going back to the World Baseball Classic, though, USA needed Italy to beat Mexico last night. Luckily for the U.S., Italy beat Mexico 9-2, if I can remember so. The U.S. moves on to the quarterfinal. They play they play Canada. U.S.-Canada tomorrow at 5. in the quarterfinal. Winner go home situation. Love to see that. The U.S. was supposed to run the table in this tournament. On paper, have one of the best rosters in World Baseball Classic history. And they needed another team to win for them to advance just out of the first round. They're not taking this quarterfinal, though, lightly. USA-Canada World Baseball Classic quarterfinal. Tomorrow at 5. NFL free agency this first week has been crazy. San Francisco 49ers bring home a familiar face. Linebacker Dre Greenlaw signs back to the Niners for a 1-year, $7.5 million deal. I saw that notification leaving school today. I screamed. I was so happy. Dre Greenlaw, one of my personal favorite players. We let him go last year. Went to the Broncos. Had an injury-railed year. Didn't play much. But Dre Greenlaw, a fan favorite, coming back home to San Fran on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, he spent the first 6 years of his career in San Francisco and then went to Denver for 1. And then they went, no, we don't want him. And all 49ers fans have been, oh my God.
Wow. We got our first goal of the night for Rocklin. 16-1 is the score.
Goalie doesn't seem all that bothered.
Rocklin finally able to punch one in. It's 16-1. Braden D. Able to punch that one in. Braden Deagle, number 25. He's got 9 goals on the year now, leads the team, as well as 5 assists.
Will this be a comeback story? Probably not, but maybe.
Yeah, that'd be a hard one to grasp. 16-1 is the score, with 5 minutes left in the third.
Well, 24-3 was all at halftime, and the Patriots came back.
28-3.
28-3. Sorry.
That is true. Now, to be fair, in football, you score 6 points per touchdown plus an extra point. That's a lot more than 1 per.
Yeah, but a touchdown is a little bit harder to get in the NFL than it is here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably true.
Than a goal is on this field.
Yeah, I'd say professional football is a little bit harder
It's a
to
little bit
score
harder.
than high school lacrosse. Nevertheless, Rocklin able to punch their first one in on the night. 16-1 is the score. 4.5 to go in the third quarter. Oh, we got a second one. Trenton Stublet. He's got 8 goals on the year, now 7 coming into tonight. Senior, 5'10", 175. Sublet, number 15. Cashes in for the second goal of the night for Rocklin, and his 8th on the year. Continuing talking about NFL free agency. Number 1 discussion right now, Max Crosby, Raiders edge rusher. Well, I can't even say formerly was. He was formally traded to the Baltimore Ravens about 3 or 4 days ago. Then the next day, the Ravens backed out. He failed his physical, and the Ravens said, "Nah, give us our 2 first-round picks back." So now Max Crosby, after being traded, is back on the Raiders. Interesting to see. We've got a goal for the Trojans.
And you got to figure with that trade where they just don't want him because he failed the physical, he's still Max Crosby.
He is still Max Crosby. And I was about to roll into, before I got cut off by the Trojans' 17th goal. There's been several calls. The trade got declined. The Ravens backed out at about 5 p.m. PST. And at 8, there was an ESPN notification of several teams calling about Max Crosby and his availability. So teams are still very interested in grabbing the monster that is Max Crosby. As a Niner fan, I'm very intrigued. Max Crosby and Nick Bosa on the same D line would be crazy. Trojans moving around the perimeter. Number 8, Ford Long, dishes it off. Now on the other side. 2 minutes left to go in the third. Trojans up 15. Oh, nice move. Makes him fall to his legs. Excuse me, fall to his feet.
Knees.
Yeah. There we go. Finally got there. Forward long, got to dish it off. There's the shot. Good save. Whoa, ball goes flying. You hear sticks collide. Ball flies over to the left side. Trojans able to hang on. 1:15 left to go in the third quarter. 17-2 is the score. If you're just joining us, the Trojans have been all over it here tonight. Coming into the second half, they led 13-0. 6 goals being scored in the third quarter so far. 4 for the Trojans, 2 for Rocklin. Oh, that's a nice shot. Just a little too high, though. Ryan Connerelli. The Trojans off to an okay start to the year. They're 3-3, 1-1 in league play. California's 23rd best team. Sacramento, the region's second. Trojans, considering they made the section finals last year, lost to Whitney. They look to expect a little bit better start to the year. But they're playing great competitors. De La Salle, one of the best teams in the nation. Played Monte Vista, lost 5-4. That was a tough one. Tough loss for the Trojans. Played so well. Whitney, their last loss, the section final rematch, they lost 12-8 at home. Last win, coming against Del Oro, last game was a win. Played Del Oro 12-5. Brings their record to 3-3. Rocklin 0-5 in the year. They're having a rough start and having a rough one here tonight. Going into the fourth quarter, we've got 12 more minutes left. 17-2. 17-2 is the score. Headed to the last 12 minutes here tonight. El Dorado Hills, California. Trojan Pride Network.
And we are back on Trojan Pride Sports Marketing. Brand new face for you here today. It'll be me, Tristan, and Tommy. Merce is on camera work. So, getting a little test. Merce will be on vacation just before summer break, or before spring break. So, we're going to get a little practice run in. Tommy, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good with this one.
Absolutely. 17-2 Trojans still going with California Lacrosse ruling for the mercy rule. If the opposing team is up 12 at halftime, the clock will keep rolling. So no stoppage in the clock. We're going to have 12 minutes of continuous play. Trojans looking like absolute dynamite for the first half entirely. And the Rocklin Thunder were able to finally score some points. They got 2. They looked a lot better in the third quarter. Still, Trojans up big. It's impossible to make up.
Yep, this one is more of just already kind of in the books, just trying to make it look a little bit better. Get a few more points on the board than they had at halftime.
Absolutely. You want to put stuff on tape, see what works, see what sticks, see who plays well, who plays bad. You just want to get some stuff that you can look at and feel good about for your team after this game. Trojans, a lot of new faces in, obviously. Their starters taking the bench. They got a lot of backups in right now. For the Trojans, too, it can be a film session. You can see who plays well and who could potentially come up later in the season.
Yep, it's a little bit like how spring ball is for baseball.
Absolutely. Trojans still playing the perimeter game. Rocklin, we've actually seen them get more physical later on in the game, surprisingly. Not typically what you see out of a team. You expect them to be physical out of the gate and maybe let up a little bit later. But neither team seems to have done that.
Yeah, I told Merce this right after coming back from the second half, that I was down on the field. I could hear their coach's speech. He was talking about, imagine the guy that stole your pizza during lunch. He's out on that field, and that ball is your pizza. You will get that pizza back.
Inspiring words.
It seemed to work a little bit.
Well, they got that pizza back a couple times.
Yep. As both of us being former football players for the Trojans, we both know, especially hanging around the O-linemen, that would work for them.
Oh, especially. I mean, I've had that speech a few times. I've been told that by my O-line coach when I played. Absolutely.
Goldberg's given that one a few times for the D-line.
Lacrosse players a lot more lean than the O-line than D-linemen, so I wonder how well that worked for them. They look a lot better. Player for Rocklin's down on the field.
Never great to have an injury, but especially not in a game that is kind of already over.
Definitely not in this one.
You don't want a season-ending injury in one that's already a 15-point upset.
Can't quite see the number from here.
Number 20, it looks like, for Rocklin.
That would be Quinn Kessler.
Oak Ridge taking a knee.
Limping off the field, not good to see.
Both using the stick and a coach. He's been a good defender for them tonight.
Absolutely.
And he's probably going to take a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, despite the fact that they've had quite a lot of points scored against him, he's been a real bright spot in a pretty dark defense. Hope he can get better for their next games. If these two teams play again, obviously you want to see the entire team healthy, so it's always a good matchup. Quinn Kessler, prayers go out to him. Hope he's all right. Hopefully we can see him back on the field, just show that he's all right. Probably going to take a rest for the rest of the game, though.
And he did something no one else could. He stopped the clock.
Surprisingly, you never really see that. That's the only time you can stop a clock is injury timeout.
I didn't even notice it until like 2 minutes after he got injured.
Well, that's okay. We adjust. We adjust. Trojans still retaining possession. They've had this perimeter offense all game, but now it's just a waste clock kind of offense. You got the game in hand. Just burn it out. Don't let them get the ball back. Don't let them get anything miracle-wise.
Yeah, and still trying to keep some dignity and play with some respect for the other team. So we're not trying to stat pad or anything, just trying to hold the ball, let the clock run out.
Very much so. Trojans looked very good all of the entirety of this game. I mean, Tommy, you were doing camera work for most of the game, came in third quarter announcing, still announcing now. What do you see that the Trojans can carry into the following weeks as real things they can follow for the bigger opponents they play?
So in the first half, the goalie did a really good job of holding off and not letting anything through. And it was just, he was locked in for that. And then second half, he came in with mind kind of mushy, and so he let them score 2, and now he's back in his zone, although they haven't really had another shot on
Very
goal.
much so.
You have to keep locked in no matter what the score is. Scoreboard can't determine how you're playing. If you play down to your opponent's level, then you might also lose the game.
Absolutely. Trojans also on defense, their defense was absolutely lights out. I mean, whenever Rocklin had the ball in the perimeter, it was just aggressive. It was physical. It was stopping the ball every time it got to their side of the field. And on offense, they played with that same mentality. You know, you're keeping it around the perimeter a little bit, but once they found those creases, they attacked it as hard as possible. That's what's done so well for them this game. 17-2, score says it all for them.
And one thing that you don't really see, but every coach in any sport will tell you, is that penalties change the game. And Rocklin has had multiple visits in the box for minutes on end where they're down a player. And that's the last thing that they need when it's 17-2.
Most definitely.
Whichever team has more penalties on them tends to lose.
And that goes for literally any sport. Lacrosse, football, basketball, baseball, you name it. Penalties are never a good sign for any team. And it's definitely played a key factor here in this game. Trojans still just dancing around the perimeter.
Yeah, we're getting some new faces out there now, letting some players play that normally wouldn't in a close game. Oh, 24's down on the field.
Rocklin
Sprinting it down. Again, trying to get a few more points.
Again, we were talking about this, tried to put some good stuff up on film, didn't get it there. Oak Ridge was just another steal, indicative of how this game's gone so far. Rocklin's able to push, but the Trojans just don't let anything up. No matter how big or how high they're up, no matter when in the game, they haven't let a single thing go past them, except for 2 points. Those are very rare spots in this game.
And Miles Johnson checks out, maybe for the night, and lets Jackson Dejanay go back in.
And we've seen Jackson Dejanay, number 11 for the Trojans. He is just
Oh,
speed.
and it's in for Jackson.
And almost a prediction there by Tommy. He says Jackson, and there he goes.
He comes to play.
Absolutely speeding past the defense in there for the goal. Number 11 sends the Trojans up 18-2.
Maybe the roulette tables are calling my name.
I wouldn't go that far.
Put it all on navy blue if they got it. But I might have to settle for black.
Well, in this game, that would be white. Teams will face off back in the middle. And the foul is called, giving the Trojans the ball. Trojans don't need to go anything for anything special here. I mean, you're leading 18-2. Just keep the ball in your hand, keep it out of your enemy team, and just keep running out the clock. Seems to be what they're doing so far. Get a little bit of cardio in. Rocklin, though, obviously not going to lay down easy. They're just staying on the Trojans.
Yeah, Hernandez for Rocklin, number 1, with the deep hole, has been just shoving. Whenever his guy is right there, he's in front of him, his pole is in his face, never backing down, never been light on defense or offense. We saw him running down the field with the ball earlier, which, with that 6-foot long stick, it is not easy to shoot or pass or anything, especially not when you have a dude right on your tail.
Most definitely. And although it's been a disappointing showing for the Thunder so far, we've seen small bright spots in this team. We were talking about what the Trojans can carry into the following weeks. What do you think the Thunder can carry on?
That they have certain highlighting players, but injuries and penalties are killing their game. Since their normal goalie, number 30, let's see, number 30 Parker Ball is out for the game today. They're not doing well with number 27, Joey Velasquez. Velasquez has been letting a lot of balls by, and 30 is just not here. I don't see him on the sideline, and he's not crossed off as an injury. So he just might not have appeared. But injuries, penalties, it's killing their game, and it's not anything positive that could come out of it.
You can't necessarily pin all the blame on the goalie, too, obviously. The defense has been letting up a lot of shots. There's been so many shots taken on that goal. Biggest thing I can tell from this team is you just need to get the ball in your hands, and once you have it, hold it. There's been multiple instances where they've gotten the ball back and they try to take that deep shot. It hasn't worked more than maybe twice, which is the 2 times they got the goals. But very rarely, it just causes more turnovers, keeps letting the Trojans get the ball back. But one notable thing I have noticed, something that they can carry in that's bright for their team, is they have multiple enforcers on their team that are not nervous to get physical at all. Always right up in Trojan faces, always right up in there trying to get the ball over as fast as possible. Those are the players you need to focus on in order to win more games. They are going to go into their next week 0-6. You need to recoup, figure out what works, what doesn't, decipher those two, and then continue from there.
Yep, and we will see you back after the timeout.
And we are getting ready for the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Trojans still up 18-2. We've been talking a long time about all the good stuff, all the bad. There's a lot of things both of these teams can carry on, work on. And we've also talked about a lot of other sports, free agency.
Yep, Max Crosby, Dre Greenlaw, and Osa. I can't
Odigizua.
I can't really pronounce his last name. Coming from the Cowboys to 49ers, I'm sure he's enjoying the weather change.
The Thunder now have the ball back. See if you can get a goal. Talking about the stuff you can put on film. Try and get a goal, something that looks good. Find something that works. Maybe switch it up. Do something you never do.
Yeah, and one thing that all coaches want you to always remember, and they don't really preface it enough, like they tend to stick with their starters, especially in sports like football, basketball, whatever. They have their favorites. But is that you can always be replaced. If you're not willing to try hard enough in that game because you're down 16 points, they can go pull up a JV dude.
Absolutely.
And completely replace you. And they won't care. It's not their playing time. So Oak Ridge has that mentality, and they've been playing with that mentality. And now they're just trying to be respectful, calming down. But Rocklin needs to play with that mentality even though they're down 16 points.
To provide an example to what you just said, I mean, the best quarterback that ever played the sport of football, Tom Brady, he was a third stringer for the Patriots. First two guys got injured, and he got put in the game. Rest is history.
Yep.
There's always a guy behind you that's hungry enough to want to get there and play better. So you got to play to the highest of your ability no matter what string you're on.
And yes, I know this isn't the same comparison, but also we have Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, number 266 in the draft, and been a starter for 3 years now.
Most definitely.
3 people got injured.
Gotta love the ball knowledge on Tommy over here.
Sometimes it shines, sometimes not so much.
Trojans run it out.
2 seconds left in the game. It's over.
The clock now striking 0. Trojans get to go home with an 18-2 win over the 0-5 Rocklin Thunder. This will now push the Trojan record to 4-3 with an absolutely commanding win. Also get a small little bit of bragging rights. After Folsom beat this team 16-6, you beat them 18-2. Potentially get to start saying you're better than Folsom. Obviously, every Trojan player loves to say that.
Never like to compete against Folsom. Well, we love to compete against Folsom.
Absolutely,
Never
for
like
sure.
to lose in a contest, no matter how small.
Now the score sits 18-2. It is resting, and we are signing out, saying good night from the Oak Ridge Trojans field. Once again, and for always, I get to say it for the first time. Go!